Welcome to the Driving Systems Change Corporate Leadership for the SDGs conference organized by the Partnership Resource Center here at Rotterdam School of Management, Erasmus University.
But let us be clear, we are far from where we need to be. We are off track.
It is not because of a lack of intentions. All major companies in the world have embraced the SDGs. It is because of the serious gap in developing and adopting advanced strategies for realizing the full potential of the SDGs. Business schools have a clear responsibility to help companies overcome this gap. Not in the future, but now.
We need radical system transformation. In very simple terms, everything has to change and we have to make big steps forward in the coming 10 years. This is not an agenda for 2050. This is the decade of action we are in now.
And the world's problem is we need global cooperation to put this basic investment agenda into operation.
I honestly think that the cost of not contributing to system change is actually getting much more expensive than it is to contribute. And I got no easier way to say it than I think that companies that aren't actually contributing are going to be left behind.
One of the insights from us is that you need to drive systems change and you need to do it together. So you need to empower local care providers, local governments, local authorities, NGOs to build resilient healthcare systems. Technology is a part of it, but it's not all of it.
I think that's one of the core strengths of the SDG agenda is that we accept that all these goals are interconnected and that the only effective and cost-efficient way to actually achieve them is to approach the solutions also in an interconnected way.
A business leader has to manage a transformational change and to develop a systematic view of change.
External pressure, wherever I've been, has been important. When people will ask you a question, your investors, NGOs, government, it also puts pressure on you and then you move forward.
It's a common language and they're aspirational, so it's clearly a big help.
Because in the end, if we can make products for the biggest challenges of the world, well, then we stay relevant as a company.
If you want to deliver change, you need to dance, you need to co-create, you need to engage stakeholders in a co-creative process, because only then you can unleash the magic of human encounter. But it all starts with a shared dream about who you are and who you would like to be. So let's dream, dance, and deliver.
One of the more inspirational things is play the game to change the game. The biggest gift that students and civic leaders can give these days is being unimpressed. Unimpressed with incremental progress that we book and demand more.
We talk of leaders who can feel the suffering of others as their own suffering.
So the reckoning has come. It is a moment for all of us to rise to the challenge. And these are challenges that are so big that none of us individually can really solve that. It requires new forms of partnership.
Trust is very crucial because very often in our public-private partnerships, there is a lot of monitoring, evaluation, a lot of time for auditing, a lot of time is needed clearly to set up a good cooperation.
SDG interactions can help you to understand how your set of priorities are relating to other priorities, whether in a policy setting or in a business strategy, for example. So it helps you to understand who can you cooperate with, where do you have joint objectives or joint objectives, and who do you need to negotiate with.
What worries me is how much bad science there is around the kinds of changes that we have to make. And so the role of business schools in terms of being partners with practice in research, but particularly on applied research in addition to the academic standards we set ourselves is critical.
The critique of business schools have been that business schools still focus on developing student skills in a spirit that has been described as generating a kind of a me first attitude amongst our students.
In this forum of the World Economic Forum, where I presented the Philips results, people ask us, yeah, but how can you get started? What is the living wage? And you can have a very long debate about all of that, and try to develop something yourself, which is of course a utter waste of time and effort. If people like Pauline have got a standard there, and we subscribe basically to the work that they deliver.
We rolled out the Better Business Scan about a year ago. We are really happy with this scan.
We developed a set of SDG cases, so aimed at master level students and MBAs, and those are kind of a big, complex cases, which are quite different from what you see those examples from some companies will show you about SDGs.
The cost of not acting now is exceeding the cost of acting, which is a bizarre situation to be in. And obviously for the people that understand that want to contribute, an enormous opportunity.
We need to radically move to true value capitalism, which means we need to measure the externalities, we need to measure the environmental impact and the social benefits that business creates.
Given the complex nature of global challenges, we need more interdisciplinary and experimental approaches centered on human well-being and environmental sustainability.
We are committed to the SDGs and aim to improve the practice of business because the private sector's active involvement is vital for driving systems change.
Actually, the whole conference has been aimed at starting up a conversation. Also showing that we as a business school are not afraid of wicked problems, systemic change, leadership, and opening up the discussion.